Is an error occur? Wait a minute. Try again. Oh, so look, they tried to act like we wasn't live. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna tell you. Hey, the devil is working today, y'all. As y'all can see, we got our computer generated selves. Um, but once again, the devil trying to keep us from talking. So I really don't know, understand what's going on. But we're gonna make it work, and we're not gonna last long.
Right.
Um, if you see the little one and he come running in, understand it's his
Parents.
it's his house too, right?
Yeah.
So understand it's his house too. So he's being acting real needy right now. But hey, listen, we're gonna figure it out. So my goal is to try to bring small awareness to what the media I feel like is trying to do or what we are doing to ourselves. And outside of that, I just still want to bring to light about marriage in general because I hear a lot of negative things going on, a lot of negative connotations, and I want to I want to come talk to you guys real quick, and I had to bring my wife on, and then we just like it's impromptu. So
Real impromptu.
so look, it's gonna be raw and uncut, just like even when you saw the my flyer that I put for us, and you saw us on there. There was a real argument we was having, a real deal argument. So so let me go to my comment section just in case somebody y'all plug in. But if not, then we'll see it on the replay. I see Facebook hating on it. Ain't no way in the world I ain't got not nobody plugged in like this. But we gonna figure it out and make it work. All right. So look. So without further ado, so when I go onto social media or when I go on to like Clubhouse, all I hear is like negative, 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 negative. And so it's almost like what are we afraid of when it comes to marriage? And I wanna talk about one thing before we get into the question and answer. So understand I got my comments on. So if y'all want to ask us any questions, y'all can. So if y'all want to be like, how in the world y'all do that? Or why in the world Tasha don't be beating up Robert? Like if y'all want to ask anything, y'all can ask. She gonna decide on what she answer. I'm gonna try to answer anything. So if she just choose to plead the fifth, then hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that, right? So one of the main things that I want women to kind of understand that I know we hear like this generation of women that say what they're not gonna do. And then, give you an example. Like if somebody says, well, I work just as many as hours. So if you think I'm gonna be a traditional wife and I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing all those things like that, why is it an issue or why is it even a conversation about what you're not gonna do? See, when y'all think men are afraid of the fact that y'all are what's the word for alpha females or think
Independent.
independent women. We're not afraid of that. What makes marriage look unsettling or unpleasing is the fact that going into the situation, you already got a list of demands about what you are and are not going to do. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. When I hear those women talk, it's like they'll say, "Oh well, I ain't like my mom. I ain't no traditional woman. I'm working 40 hours. So I be danged if I work 40 hours and just work just as hard as the husband and I come home and I got to do all the cooking and cleaning." You are correct. You shouldn't have to do all the cleaning. But I will say this about the cooking. If you got kids and you didn't have a husband, would you be cooking every day for the kids? Or you ain't going to feed the kids? Are you feeding the kids? I just want to know, are you feeding the kids? So I don't want to hear, you know, half the stuff that y'all talk about y'all not gonna do. You can't expect me to cook every day. Okay, so I guess you saying that you ain't cooking for the kids every day. Is that what it is? Is that what's going on? Because that's something that you got to do to live anyway. So it's more so of when you try to brag and boast about your independence, that's what sounds so uninviting by men. So men are like, oh, okay, that's how you feel. Well, I'm not finna do X, Y, and Z then. So now we button heads like rams. That doesn't make any sense. And I think we got to get out of this rhetoric because a lot of that is why, especially the black community, we can't thrive or we can't, I guess get to a point where we succeed because, we got to do it together. And the only way we can do it together if we get two household incomes, because two household incomes, meaning that's a lot of income spread it over generational wealth. That's a lot of help. There's no reason to be doing this by yourself. There's no reason to be going through the world alone. Like, we got to get out of that mental mindset of, I'm not finna do this, but I need you to do that. Because that's something that I can say my wife does well. Like, she got her things where she just not gonna do, right? And then at the same time, there are certain things that it's like she not gonna be like, oh, but you need to do this. Like, it just makes sense. Like, if you're gonna be like, well, you can't boss me around, why do you think you can boss me around? You get what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So who's waving at Randall?
Mm-hmm.
So Randall be hating. So look, cause he gonna speak to you, he don't see me. Like, you just don't see me.
Y'all
like,
talk all the time.
No, we don't talk all the time. We talk sometimes.
Y'all talk enough.
No, we don't even talk enough.
He don't see my face a lot.
Hey, look.
Randall.
Hey, look. So what up, Count? What up, D Count? So look, and so then the other thing I kind of want to talk about is when men get into a situation, and let's say I heard something on Clubhouse today where they were comparing why even try, because you can get everything you want from a woman before you even get married. And so then that thought process is, I want men to kind of get out of that frame of thinking. Yes, you are correct. But, if you don't have a legacy to continue or to build, you can't carry on your last name. Like, you should be able to say, you know what, I want to live on. I want to live on through my kids. So at some point, you should have some type of goal to say, you know what, I want to physically settle down. Now, I always say you're single till you're married. So I think a lot of times we get the confusion in when we say commitment. We say commitment to a so when we do the commitment, we say commitment to a relationship. But my old adage, when I say you're single till you're married, think about this. Why would I commit and give you everything there is to be of a husband, and then we're not even married? And I say the same thing for females. Like, why should you commit and give them everything there is to be of a wife if y'all not married? So a lot of things I always say, leave to the imagination. That's gone out the window. A lot of times we always say, just, you got to find a way to be cordial, but not be fake. So in the beginning, we tend to be a representation of ourselves. And then we get to the point where now we're not even the same person that we are 3 years into the marriage. And so then that happens a lot. So like I said, you just want to be authentic. You want to come across, and you just want to keep the communication open. I feel like if you keep the communication open and you talk about every single thing, you'll find a way to work things out, because it's not perfect. And so we're going to talk about our ups and downs. And then
like, what are we about to talk about?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about our ups and downs. So so like, a lot of people look at us. So the only reason I want to get on with you is because I know a lot of people want to hear from you. It's too bad that it ain't a lot of people that's going to be able to ask you these questions. So you might get a free pass. But
I thought you was going to be like, you got to respond later.
Nah, ain't no respond later, right? Ain't no respond later. But all right, so let's talk about us now. So a lot of people look at us and then be like, oh, we get this a lot, trust me. Oh, I love you guys' relationship. Oh, you guys are awesome. Y'all such a cute couple. What do you get?
How do you put up with him?
And what else?
But no, I get those things as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you hear people say that, and then you know that we have our struggling moments, and then we have our like moments, what do you think?
Like anybody else, like, that's just outside looking in, and just about it's work behind it. But it's the main thing.
So you don't be paying them folks no attention?
I mean, I do. Like, I think it's cute and I appreciate it and everything, but it's work behind it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So like, we've been married how long?
It's gonna be 12 years.
See, as you can see, she's the man of the relationship, because she had to think about it.
No, I didn't.
Yes, she did. You see her eyes?
I know what year it is.
Her eyes went to the thing. Hey, it's so easy because we got married in 2010, so she just get to cheat. So look, so we got married in 2010. I'll say our first 2 years, because we was going to Jamaica every other year. It was like like textbook out of a book of a movie or out of a book. You would think like, is this what marriage is about? I love it. Like I should have signed up for this a long time ago, right? And then when would you say we started having some rocky moments?
I would say, yeah, about year 3.
About year 3.
Yeah.
All right. So what was significant year 3?
Well, that was the second kid.
Okay.
Yeah, the second kid was born. You was working a lot.
Okay. So we
So,
finna
yeah.
so we finna hear the negatives, y'all. so why wasn't you liking me in 2013? Because you was always loving me, but why you wasn't liking me in 2013?
Because I felt like I was in a relationship by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is why I always say, or this is why I led on to say, communication is key. Because one thing we weren't doing is we weren't talking. And I would say around 2013 or 2014, we had got to the point where I don't know what she felt, but like for me, I felt like at that point, I can say I really started to question, you know, did I do the right thing? Was this right? Or did we jump into this too soon? Did we, like I really started letting myself let the doubt creep in. And I'm gonna give you my point of view. So my point of view was at that time of the year, I was working 3 jobs. So we like to travel a lot. So my mentality was, and I got this from a friend of mine, shout out to Ricky. So I noticed he had all these jobs, right? And I was like, you know what? If he could work a lot of jobs, I could work a lot of jobs. So I got 3 jobs. And only reason I did that was so we could travel because we love to travel. So I was like, we finna travel. Our parents, they took care of the kids. Like it wasn't none of that. Like we got old school grandmas, like, they down for the cause and they ain't fussing. They love their grandbabies. So
every opportunity.
So I was like, you know what? Let me get these 3 jobs and let me just kill it. And then we can always travel and we can go on vacation and yada, yada, yada. The whole time I wasn't thinking about what was happening in the house. So at this point, we had our second child. There was a lot of, what do you think? There was a lot of, I ain't gonna say neediness coming from there. There was a lot of demanding. What would you say? There was a lot going on in the house while I wasn't there from the kids.
Yeah, I mean, one, I felt like I was alone most of the time because, like I said, I also worked. So when I wasn't working, it was me coming home, going straight to taking care of the kids. And then, like, you would be coming home from one job, going to sleep to get ready to take a quick nap or whatever to get ready to go to another job. So we were like bypassing each other and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I was by myself.
So listen to this. During that time, when I say it was a rough period for me, the whole time I did not know it was a rough period for her. And that's where you have like the biggest mistakes when you come to relationships, because the only thing that we really think about is what we're not getting. And then it was just like most males, it was physical at the time. So it was like, yo, when we do got time to like, let's try to, do the nasty. I was like, so I was like, why are we not doing it? And then she would say, well, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. So I was just like, what? You're too young to be tired, right? That's what I was thinking. And then the whole time I'm not thinking like you're taking care of the house, you're taking care of the kids, this, that, and the third. And even then, I can say now that she is a better cook now than what she was then in the beginning. And so in the beginning, forget not even being a good cook, she wasn't even trying to cook. So I gave her that pass because it was like a give and take.
You ate though.
Yeah, all now depend on what you cook. I didn't eat that chicken though. Yeah, hey, that's spaghetti though. I eat that spaghetti though. You fine, you can do that. Hey, we eat spaghetti 5 days a week. So look, so I still would like run around with my boys. I would hang out with my boys. I would hang out with my real brothers, my fraternity brothers, my best friends, whatever. And my wife, it was kind of like if I didn't fuss about what we weren't doing in the bedroom, then she made it, I guess, her duty not to really fuss about me going out all the time. So I thought I had it made, but at the same time, I still was frustrated. I was like, yo, I mean, it's good that I don't got nobody just yelling at me about being in the house all the time. But at the same time, like I want to walk through that door and feel like I'm loved and needed. The whole time she wanted me to walk through that door and she wanted to feel like she was loved and needed. And I wasn't doing it. I was in and out. So I 100% blamed her. 100%. 100%. Oh, I was just like, yo, I'm making all this money. I'm doing all of this. Like, and I don't even require that you cook. Like, I'm coming in. Like, if I'm alive, I will help out to cook if I was alive. But most of the time, I'll come in and pass out. But it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to do nothing in my head. So anyway, I just say that to say, like, our communication was on different accords. And we didn't really start. We moved out of that house and then we moved into some apartments. And as we moved into these apartments, that's when we eventually was going to get this house built. So we had to stay in apartments. We had a little transition stage. In that transition stage, we got a chance to really kind of like grow. But at the same time, we had like, it got so serious with us that like me, and maybe not on her end, but on my end, I was like thinking like, maybe we need to just backtrack and I need to get out. So just like with anything, I'm not going to say most men or most anybody, just most people in general. Like the people that are not good at commitment, which I didn't think I really was, but I was proud of myself that I wanted to make a commitment of getting married. I looked for the first roadblock and I was ready to go. I was like, if she's not going to do this and she's not going to do this, I'm out the door. Like there's no reason, like, and I honestly feel like, I'm not going to say it was, because it was social media around then getting started. But I'm not going to say it was me listening to others, but I do listen to people when people say, I listen to women put up with they men and then they be like, oh, I put up with this man doing this and this and this. And I was like, I'm not doing that, that, and that. So I should be getting all of this. Like I got my whole list of what I feel like I should be getting because I'm not doing like that. So I'm like, if they putting up with they men, why you ain't, So I'm here to tell y'all that's the wrong mentality to think, right? And that got me in a lot of trouble because then that made me feel like, okay, well, you know what? The grass is green on the other side. Like, I don't want to be here. And we went through that little rough little patch.
But hold on, that one big argument, was that after we moved or?
No, that was before. So we had a one big argument. It was on top of the rooftop, on top of the doctor's office. And are you okay with me telling them? Okay. So come to find out, after the second child, I was telling her she needed to go, get tested for like postpartum depression. She was like, I don't need that. But she was real hateful.
Anyway.
So I was telling her she needed to go do that. She was like, no, I ain't doing that. So anyway, she eventually went to the doctor because like we had an argument outside like the hospital, like on the rooftop, like with the parking.
And
I
lost a lot of weight too.
She lost hella weight. Yeah. So she already tiny. And then she got tinier. And so I was like, I said, oh, I'm out. I was like, if you don't figure it out, if you don't get tested, if you don't see a doctor about something, I was like, I want a divorce. And so I think then for the first time, I seen some real emotion come from her. And I don't know if it was emotion because maybe she felt like it was over. Like, why did I see emotion then? Let me ask you instead of assume. Why did I see real emotion that I never saw before?
I think the main thing is because I really felt like I could agree with, well, not the reasoning why you was feeling like, or kind of question our relationship, but I could tell and I knew that, it wasn't on the up and up, basically. And I felt like this is a real conversation and like it could be over for real. So, yeah.
And that's how I was.
So feeling. I guess being scared brought out the emotion.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And so a lot of times what y'all don't know is y'all don't realize like we really can sense like real emotion or fake emotion. And I seen something in her eyes that day and I was just like, okay, now we're talking. So like now when she's crying and she's like, no, I really want this to work, yada, yada, yada. This is somebody that I be asking something and she'd be like, I don't care. So when I seen that, I was just like, okay, all right, let's try to figure this out. So anyway, long story short, she goes see the doctor. The doctor was like, yo, your hormone levels are like terrible, like they kaput. And they was like, so it may have happened from the last kid, yada yada. But they diagnosed you with either hyper or hypo what?
Hypothyroidism.
Hyperthyroidism.
Mhm.
And so she had to get the radiation treatment and she got to get that. So during that time, because she had to have the radiation treatment, they said that she couldn't be around kids. And so I had to be around the kids. So in that time, I had a lot of time to kind of really think like, I was ready to end it all. And the whole time, there was something wrong with her medical, that was causing her moods, that was causing, her feelings and causing, but the whole time, it still wasn't that. It was more so what I wasn't doing at the house. So with me having to be at the house because she couldn't be around the kids, I had to let two of the jobs go, right? So now I'm spending more time at home, which is a plus for her. I'm thinking, the mood changes to like a positive change could be just because she's on the medication. And the whole time, it honestly just really just could have been because I was at the house more. Because now I'm at the house, I'm cooking more, I'm helping out more, I'm cleaning more because I had to be more direct with the kids at this point. So the whole time I'm like, yeah, I knew that's what it was. And thank God for the medication. But in the back of her head, she probably like, thank God that your ass is in this house. And she wanted to see more of me. So anyway, so we transitioned that from that to like when we hit the pandemic. So a lot of y'all, I don't know why y'all during the pandemic. So I thought during the pandemic she probably was gonna get rid of it. Cause like she don't let her fool you. Like she kind of like a loner. Like she need her time and her free time. So
I'm a true loner.
So look, so that's why that's really the secret about why she let me run the streets. Cause she just be like, go ahead, so I can have time to myself. So look, so anyway, during the pandemic, we got like the closest we've ever gotten, only because once again, I don't know if y'all knew my story, but my father passed away because of COVID, and right around that time, I lost my job at the same time. So right when I was getting like all despair and getting like all whatever, I was like, you know what? All I got is my family. Let's just spend time with my family, and we got a chance to spend a lot more time together. And at that point in time, in the house, I really realized. Now this is like what 8 years later, 9 years later,
Mm-hmm.
I realized how much work that the women do in the home because now we had a newborn, another newborn, and going into 2020. So like I said, this was going into the pandemic, and she was at work. I was at the house all the time, and he was driving me up the wall. Bless his soul. But he was driving me up the wall, and I was doing all the cooking and all the cleaning. And in my head, I was just like, "Yo," I said, she was doing all this with two kids. So then it was like a little role reversal and a little shoes on the other foot. And so now I thank God that we did go through that little time period, because if we didn't, like, I don't really know, where we would have been, but I just feel like every lesson learned is like a way, it's almost like a stepping stone for you to being a better individual, or you being the better couple that you were yesterday. So as long as we were better than what we were yesterday, then we were okay with that. And now I just feel like we just like stronger than ever. Mm-hmm. So there's only one real issue right now is the fact that she just super spoiled about me cooking. So now she feel like she don't have to cook at all.
Before you go into bragging,
what?
I would just want to go back to about the pandemic and us being at home and all that stuff. So I was working from home once it started, and I was pregnant actually when everything started. And so I was working at home pregnant, and then the baby came in June, and so then I was off and took leave or whatever. But I just wanted to say how a lot of people or couples always talk about how during the pandemic, how they got to see who their real partner is or something like that, or how some relationships broke up and all that stuff. But like that wasn't an issue for us. So I don't know if it's because like we were already friends beforehand and like we actually like being around each other, but like you said, that kind of brought us even more closer and made our relationship stronger than it was before. So we didn't have any relationship issues or big fights or anything like that during the pandemic.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that time. Honestly, I didn't want to go back to work.
And I honestly feel like I don't even know if we argued at all during the pandemic. I ain't gonna even lie. And I thought it probably would have been a little bit different because most of the time you just feel like you spend. They always say you don't never want to spend too much time around your spouse. I mean, all it did was just strengthen us. And now most of the time when I still try to get out and hang out with my brothers, it's like I just only thing I really think about now is like, when I'm coming home, how fast I'm coming home, and maybe it's just because I'm getting 40 years old and I'm just tired. I don't know, but it's still like it was more of a joy back then to get out than it is now. Like now it's like I hang out with my friends just to kind of get away. Back then it was just like I can't wait to get out, and it's just a different mindset. So maybe that comes with maturity too as well. But yeah, so like I said, I liked that time that we was going through that. Um, the baby was tricked upon me. I thought we was done.
No, no.
but but
we both was duped.
but we both was duped. Listen,
The man above.
nah, whatever. Hey, don't let her believe y'all. Yeah, don't let her believe that. So look, you was finna say before I started trying to brag. So I'm just stating facts though. So like, let's have an argument live. Like, why do you feel like I should be doing all the cooking?
So as you all know, and y'all know because y'all watch his lives, what is he always on the live talking about? Him cooking and being a chef and on the grill and all this other stuff. So if that's what you truly enjoy, then hey, have at it. That's all I'm saying.
So look, so she covered the mentality that if I don't cook, we ain't eating though.
I can always find something to eat, okay?
Hey, so this is coming from somebody. I can't disclose her income, but she has no problem with frying up some Roman noodles and throwing some eggs in it. And I don't understand that. I still can't
It's
get
a
over.
good snack.
That's not a good snack. You'll eat that for like dinner though. Like
Okay.
that don't make any sense. You'll eat that for like dinner though. What's that, Rob? That's your calling, man. She ain't getting in your way of all that cooking. I know, right? Hey, don't gas it, Jason. Do not gas it. Hey, look. So, they trying to break me up. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? So look, they trying to break me up. I hope y'all still can see me. Jason, you newlyweds. Congratulations again.
Congratulations.
I'm proud of you. We're here for the support, the major support. I don't know why it looks like. Oh my God.
It might not look like that to them.
It might not
just be us.
Maybe just us.
Mhm.
All right. So anyway, yeah. Mass support. Congratulations, Jason. If you need anything, any questions, ask me. Don't ask her. We most definitely can help
She
y'all
can
get through
ask
this.
me.
Huh?
I said she can ask me.
Can she? I
Mhm.
guess. So look, I had something else I want to ask. What else I'm gonna talk about? When we was going through, trying to go through it, y'all know I be getting old, so I guess I probably finna cut it short because we don't have enough viewers to have questions. So look, do y'all got any questions y'all want to ask us? Y'all can. We'll open up the floor for like about 2 or 3 minutes for like y'all to ask questions about how in the world,
Anything.
how in the world we figured it out. Cause
And I wouldn't say figured out because we're still working.
Oh yeah, we still working on it.
Yeah.
We still working on it. We're still working on it. But we're doing a pretty good job. We're doing a pretty good job at it.
But I think that's the thing with relationships too. When people get into it, they don't realize like it is for real work.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So
And it's almost like the commitment that you got to put in and the time that you got to put in, it is daily. Like, I thought I knew Tasha.
choices that you make every day.
I thought I knew her when we got married. She is two totally different people from the time she got married to now. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
That's called growth.
I don't know what it's called. I think it's called she duped me. She duped me for real. She duped me for real. But like, if you're not willing to adapt with the changes that's going to happen between you and your partner, then it's almost like, why even put that time in, or why even get started to go down that path? Like, why get married if you're not willing to adapt with the changes that's going to happen? And the only way that you truly can adapt is communicate. The only way, because she is going to change, he is going to change every year, year after year, and within that change, you got to say, hey, this is not working for me, or hey, this is working, or hey, we need to work on this more. Because I think and I joke about the cooking all the time, but just let me speak on that part. So the cooking is almost about the same as it was years ago that it is now. But as far as the times, the frequency, yeah. So the only problem is now. Oh, they're trying to get us with that. Is it plugged up over there? Pick it up. Hurry up. Hold on, y'all. That's what they trying to do. That's what they trying to do. We ain't have no power. All right. All right. We had to let the power go in. All right. So the frequency, like I said, is about the same. So the only difference is back then I fussed about it, and then I was like, I would be visibly upset. And I'll be visibly upset to the point where I'll come in, she ain't cooking, and then I'm fussing. And then we probably like whatever for like the next 3 days. The only problem is I'm pretty much fighting with myself because she just sitting over there like, you know what I'm saying? She ain't finna be, hey babe, what's wrong with you? Ain't no nothing. Like if I get mad and throw a tantrum, I'm just throwing a tantrum and she just letting it happen. Like, I don't know, that's smart. You might could teach the women about that little trick. But anyway, the point is when back then when I was fussing, it was almost like, what am I fussing about? Because I know how to cook, right? So I could do one or two things. I could come in and cook myself, or I can continue to fuss and be mad and do nothing. Or I could communicate.
Or you could help or show me something because I don't know why you thought that I knew how to cook.
Listen.
Like all that time you know me before, what meals was I putting together?
Listen,
make you think like we automatically married. So now
because you was born in the 80s and you was born in West Tennessee, so I just assumed your mama did a lot of cooking. So I just automatically assumed that you knew how to cook, but you wasn't in the kitchen. Your butt was outside playing basketball.
I was in the kitchen waiting for it to get done, so I can eat it.
So the point of that is, if I did a better job of communicating and just saying, hey, look, let's come in, like she said, let me teach you how to cook. Or this is what I need you to, help get done, or whatever the case may be. Or I could just continue to fuss about it and be mad about it and just let it be something that breaks up our relationship, or just be like kind of like a stumbling block instead of a building block. So that's why we say communication is always important, because if all you gotta do is just take the time to set out your expectations. And so I'm big on this. So no matter what group I go in, I talk in, I always tell people, if you're not going to communicate, then you're not going to try to make it work. I'm huge on communication. I'm more huge on communication than she is, because I still fuss with her about, not talking about certain things sometimes, but we've come a long way. But if you're not willing to sit down and set an expectation, then you can't fuss about nothing. So I always tell people, like, I be mad because my man does this, or my husband or my girl does this or that. Okay, are you mad about it and you just fuss about it? Or do you set an expectation of, if you continue to do this, then I will do this, or this will not work? Like, you have to set those type of expectations, So it's like, if I could have said, if you continue to not cook, then I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going to be out the door. At that point, she can make a decision, okay, am I going to cook more or whatever, yada, yada, yada. But then she might make a decision to say, hey, all right, well, then you need to teach me. But just me having that open line of communication, that's where it starts at. And that's where it's always going to start. So let me see what we got. Okay. All right. So look, we didn't want to stay on here long or whatever. What you say? You got Twitter on the screen now. All right, we ain't gonna stay on here long. So we finna go ahead and go, since y'all don't got no questions. I wanted to kind of do like a little series like this, but to where I can get on and just kind of talk. And then talk to different people, and then also talk to my wife some more. I wanted to kind of get more comfortable on TV and on the camera, behind the camera, because she's not, and y'all know I am. But she does talk, as y'all can see. I know y'all really thought that she didn't talk, so I surprised y'all. So she do more than shoot basketball. Word. So so look, you got any final parting shots before we head up?
Just that if you do decide to make a commitment to be in a relationship, just make sure that you do make that commitment and that you're willing to do the work to try to you know, not only work on yourself, but listen to your partner and um, make sure that y'all are in it as a team. So y'all gonna have your own separate goals or own separate things that y'all working on, but then y'all need to see how y'all work together as well, and how those goals fit together, and if they do fit together, because you may find out within that process that this person isn't for you. So, like he said, communication as much as possible. Um, Ask the serious questions early. I know you don't be wanting to scare people away, but I'm like, why waste time? So
Exactly. And then that's why I say, that's why I like the title. That's why I put the title, and I was like, you got to choose wisely, because I talk about this all the time. So some of y'all don't know about how I feel like I chose wisely. But I like met her like a long time ago, back in 1999, playing basketball, right? So we both played for the same college. But she was like such a cool friend. Like it was easy. I think I friend zoned you, or did you friend zone me? I think I friend zoned her first. I'm cold like that.
hold on, sir.
I'm cold
No,
like that. I think I
no,
friend zoned you.
no. If anything, it was an even friend zone. No,
Oh, well, you just say that because you weren't trying to shoot your shot. Okay, that's fine. But
just
anyway,
saying. I'm not
we was
friend
like
zone.
we was like best friends, and I always said, because of how she acted, I was like, you know what, you'll be marriage material for whoever decide to marry you. I was like, so whoever that may be, that's gonna be a lucky fella. I said, hey, and if you single years and years and years down the line, I said, and we keep in communication, then I was like, you know what? There may be a chance it be me. And I said that, and this is true. Like, I'm not telling you no
It
lies.
is true.
This is true. And so I said that not thinking like, okay, this is gonna happen. So this is like back in 1999, right? And listen, I had my days. I was in and out. So I was in and out of relationships, and I was like, I ain't one thinking about it. I felt like I never was gonna be thinking about marriage. And so when I told her that, it was just something. So some people would say, well, what did I see in her that made me say, she would be the one, or she'd be the perfect marriage material type of person? When I used to conversate with her, she used to be like, now this is just best friends only, right? She used to always be like, yo, did you watch the game last night? Or did you see this? And it was almost like most of the same interests. We had most of the same interests. So even if it was TV shows, like she wasn't like, I want to watch all the lovey-dovey TV shows. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like she watched some, but then she watched some of these other shows. And then she like watched action movies, and then she watched this. But she was always concerned about what the sports was going on, and she could talk about sports in and out. Now, for some men are not really that intertwined in sports like you think we all are or whatever. But that's why that decision to me was like, you know what? Like, you'll be kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? If you decide to get married. And then I once again still wouldn't even thought about it, and wouldn't even thought twice. And never even thought about twice that we would get married.
And I never thought about marriage. I want to put that on record.
And she still don't think about marriage. I don't even see how we even got married, because I swear to God, she just whatever. I think like when I proposed to her, she didn't even like she just looked at me and was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Get off the floor." She look at her.
What were you doing? Like, sir, like, did we
So
talk
listen,
about this?
she ice cold. Like I ain't gonna need to lie. She ice cold. But look, that's why I say just choose wisely. So most people y'all don't really think about letting it go into your decision making and say, you know what, does that really matter? Like that matters. Don't be out here like in a good boyfriend and girlfriend relationship just because the sex is good, or just because that person is the most finest person that you ever seen in your life or whatever. Like stuff like that don't last. Like it's been documented. I don't have to go in and go on about it. Like them type of relationships, they don't last. Like it's got to be somebody that you really, really, really compatible with. Like a lot of times y'all go out and y'all see people married, and y'all be like, that is the biggest odd couple. What is she doing with him? Or what is he doing with her? They complete each other. That's what they doing together. And a lot of times y'all don't even think about that. Y'all all y'all think about is the outside, the superficial, the physical. And y'all be like, okay, what's that fine girl doing with that fat dude? Or what's that fine dude doing with that fat girl, vice
Or
versa?
even like us,
Or
with me
just,
being quiet and you
yep.
all outgoing and stuff.
And then y'all always focus on the wrong things. Like y'all just not focused on people being happy. Like them people are happy for whatever reason, you know. And we always say beauty is always in the eye of the beholder. So just because you look at somebody and you might think, well, she's beautiful and he's ugly, why are they together? then it's almost like, really, like you have to ask yourself, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because you don't know what she's seeing him or what he's seeing her, and then you never know. You know, two beautiful people might not even mesh because you know who's to say that they're really beautiful if they're ugly inside. So, you know, y'all gotta always keep those things in mind. Always keep everything, you know, in mind when it comes to choosing. And that's why, you know, my title was, you know, you gotta choose wisely. You gotta choose wisely. Because if you can't get along with that person, listen, when you say your vows, it's forever, right? So if it's forever, then and you can't even be around that person, how's that supposed to work? Huh? Tell me how's it supposed to work? So I know we get along, but like when I tell you we really don't fight, we really don't fight. Like, why do we fight?
He get on my nerves.
So I thought I gave her a chance to be like really blame me. But who's the reason of us any argument we have? Who's at fault? Or who's the reason that we even have an argument?
We have a discussion.
I'm saying, but why would it even be an argument?
It would be a discussion, but normally because of me.
But okay, look, see how humble she is. I don't know why she being like whatever. I'm saying if you didn't have to argue about nothing, would it even be a discussion?
Oh, no.
It'll be because of me.
Yeah.
So I'm like the female of the relationship, and she like the male of the
that's
relationship.
true.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
So she the one that she like, bruh, like why you mad about that?
Huffing, puffing, and all that going on. Like, what are you doing?
So then I come in, I'm just like, yo, like why did you do this? And I'll be like, you ain't finna argue back? Like she ain't no arguing back. That's almost like the best way to like not have an argument is just have one person not argue back because she ain't giving in. I can come in, I don't care. I come in hot as a firecracker, and she'd be like, okay. And I'd be so mad, and that just makes me even more mad that she ain't even arguing back. And then I'm saying to myself, and then this is what I get to thinking. I always said I wouldn't like get married to somebody that's always fighting and arguing. And then I marry somebody that don't fight and don't argue, and I'm mad that she not fighting, she not arguing. And so, like as humans, you can't make humans. I ain't gonna say men or women. You just can't make humans happy. So I'm not saying it's a male thing or it's a female thing. You just can't make none of us happy. At the end of the day, you just got to get along with with the person and just understand that you finna be in it forever. You know what I mean? And it's like don't never be afraid of it. I always say, please don't be afraid of marriage. Like
compromise.
Yes, be willing to compromise. I know fellas, y'all look at it like, what I'm gonna get married for? Like if she gonna fuss and yell and be all demanding, once again, choose wisely. You're gonna know that in the beginning, what type of woman that is. They show their true colors. I know it's a representation of them in the beginning, but y'all be making them hold out for a year and 2 years before you propose anyway. So if you make somebody hold out for a year or two before you propose, you can't figure her out in a year to know that this ain't the one. And ladies, if it's been about 2 years, they probably done figured out that you ain't the one. So you might need
if they haven't proposed.
Yes, if they haven't proposed. So you might need to, what they need to do, you might need to just revamp that situation and have that conversation. Mm-hmm. So don't never be afraid of, I'm afraid to talk about it because I might run them away. They probably deep down inside ain't even finna think about how they're gonna get to the next stage with you anyway. Honestly, my opinion. That's just my opinion. That is not a fact. That's my opinion. Because I feel like past 2 years, you should know somebody past 2 years. Like I ain't gonna say before 2 years, but if y'all in these long relationships past 2 years and y'all still ain't got married, it ain't looking good. I'm just somebody done figure something out.
If that's what you want, because
yeah.
A lot of people may not want it.
A lot of people don't. Yeah. But once again, if you communicate, you'll figure it out real fast. If that's what they want, you'll know. All right, well, we go on this time. So like I said, we want to be able to just jump on here and just talk to people. I want to have way more dialogue, way more question asking, because I love when people ask me questions and say, hey, how did y'all do that? Or how did you put up with her not doing this? Or how did you put up with this? Because I feel like we got a lot of knowledge. We've been doing this for multiple years. And unlike contrary to...
I would say even from a friendship standpoint, like we've known each other, like you said, since 1999. So, yeah. So of course, once you're in a relationship, that's a whole different dynamic, but still a lot of years.
Yeah. So, and like I said, what does it say? Contrary to popular belief, everybody's like, y'all got the perfect, and it's not. We worked on that, and then and we are here now, and we're still working on that. So it's not perfect. It's not always going to be perfect, but you just got to figure it out, and then you got to make a commitment to continue to figure it out. That's the only real commitment that you really, really make. Your commitment is not necessarily to say I'm committed to my partner, but I'm committed to making this relationship work, even when it has its ups and even when it has its downs. You know, because we didn't roll our wave, and now I'm just hoping that we just coasted right on over to the top. Yep. So with that being said, y'all have a wonderful day. I just can't wait to see the playback because the video done went out a couple times and we just was talking to a blank screen and it looked like it was freezing. So I hope they let it record. Like I said, the devil is at work.